right now, your brand's reputation is being shaped in a place you probably can't even see. So today, we're going to dive deep into LLM visibility to find out what the world's most powerful AIs are saying about you when you're not in the room. All right, let's just start with a really direct question. What is AI saying about your brand when you're not even looking? I mean, think about it. Every single day, millions of people are asking AI for recommendations, and the answers they're getting are becoming a huge factor in what they decide to buy. Okay, let's get into this. We really need to start thinking of models like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude as the new gatekeepers of information. It's not an exaggeration to say they're completely changing the game when it comes to how customers find, evaluate, and, ultimately trust brands. And that's what brings us to this really important new idea, LLM visibility. Trust me, you're going to be hearing this term a lot more, so let's get ahead of the curve and break down exactly what it means. Okay, so at its core, LLM visibility is really just about measuring two things: how often your brand gets mentioned by an AI, and this is the really crucial part, the context of that mention. Are you being recommended? Are you being dismissed? Or maybe worse, are you being compared badly to a competitor? You see, it's not just about being present, it's all about perception. So, okay, how does this actually work in practice? What's the how-to here? Well, it all starts by setting up a system that keeps an eye on the big AI models, watching for any mentions of your brand and your competitors. And this isn't just a simple counter, no way. It actually analyzes where you show up in the answer. Like, are you the first recommendation or just kind of tacked on at the end? It even figures out the sentiment. The whole point is to take all that messy, unstructured text from the AI and turn it into a clear, trackable score you can actually use. Okay, now you might be wondering who this is for. Well, it's absolutely crucial for software companies. I mean, the SaaS world is so crowded, right? Buyers are always looking at different options, and these AI assistants, they're basically becoming their new go-to trusted advisors. And look, this isn't just some vanity metric you look at once and forget. This really hits the entire customer journey in four super important ways. First up is just discovery. I mean, you got to be in the conversation to even have a chance, right? Then it's about protecting your share of the market from competitors who are getting recommended more often. Third, and this is a big one, it's about managing the risk of the AI saying something wrong about you. And of course, all of this leads to the ultimate goal, growing revenue. Let's take a look at share of voice for a second. This chart right here, it's a perfect picture of this new battlefield. So look at this. When a customer asks an AI for the best tool in your category, who gets the shout out? In this scenario, competitor A is just crushing it with 45% of the mentions, while your brand, you're barely on the radar. And this is where it gets a little scary. Let's talk about the risk management side of things. An LLM can sound completely sure of itself, absolutely confident, while saying something that's just plain wrong about your pricing, or your integrations, or even your security. That kind of misinformation can completely kill a sales deal before it even gets started. And without monitoring, you'd have no idea it even happened. Okay, so we get the why. Now let's get into the how. So how do we actually take all this data and turn it into smart decisions that, actually do something? Probably the number one question any marketer asks is this: how are we doing compared to the competition? Well, LLM visibility gives you a straight-up, data-driven answer to that. And this is where something as simple as a visibility score, like what you see on this chart, becomes so valuable. I mean, just look at it. At a single glance, you can see that competitor A is totally winning the visibility war. This isn't a gut feeling anymore. It's a hard metric that tells you exactly where you stand in the AI's mind. But wait, it's not just about getting mentioned a lot. It's really about how you're being talked about. What's the vibe? Is the AI describing you in a positive light or not so much? And believe it or not, the analysis can get super specific. So check out this table. The AI loves the product's features. That's awesome, right? But then you look at pricing and onboarding, and oops, both are getting negative feedback. This is a massive insight. It tells you your problem might not be your core product, but how people perceive its cost and how easy it is to get started. Okay, Siri is great, but let's make this real. We're going to walk through a super tangible, real-world scenario to see how this all clicks together, from a simple question to a solid action plan. So it all starts with a question, the kind of thing a potential customer would definitely type in. What is the best SaaS for team collaboration under $50 per month? This is a hot lead, someone who is clearly ready to buy. Okay, now look at what comes back. The answers are all over the place. And frankly, it's a huge problem. So, ChatGPT totally ignores you, only mentions competitor A. Then you've got Perplexity, which only recommends competitor B. It's only Gemini that even bothers to include you in the answer. This isn't just bad visibility. It's basically a lottery, and you're not holding many tickets. Now, a good dashboard takes all that mess and boils it down to one simple number. For this incredibly important question from a customer who's ready to buy, you've only got a 33% share of voice. That means you are losing 2 out of every 3 potential customers before they even know you're an option. That's a big deal. But this is the magic moment. This is where the data turns into real strategy. See, the big takeaway isn't just, oh no, we're losing. It's figuring out why. And the data here is screaming that competitor B owns the conversation around being affordable. That pinpoints a specific, fixable weakness in how you're positioning your own pricing. And bam, that one insight unlocks a super clear action plan. So what do? First, you optimize your pricing page to really shout about affordability. Next, you publish case studies from happy customers on that under $50 plan. Then, you can even create content that compares you directly to competitor B on price. But here's the key. The final step is to keep your eyes on that dashboard to see if your changes are actually working. It creates this amazing feedback loop for all your marketing efforts. So I guess we'll just leave you with this one thought. If you're not measuring your LLM visibility, you can bet your competitors are, or they will be very soon. In this new world of AI-driven discovery, the question really isn't if you should be paying attention anymore, it's how fast can you get started.